Apex Season 13 was recently announced, and with that there's going to be changes to the ranked system. This teaser hints a rise and fall, which could be in tier demotion, and the teamwork might refer to team kill points. In this video, I'll cover those two potential changes, how they might look like, as well as some other changes that I would personally add if I was Respawn. We'll be going in the order of controversy behind these changes, so stay tuned for the last one. Let's start with a safeguard that I know has been requested many times before, and that's ranked demotion. Ranked in its current state is plagued by people who either buy a boost or rat their way to a certain rank where they are protected from demoting. Those ranks are the very bottom of every tier, so Silver 4, Gold 4, Platinum 4, Diamond 4, and Master. No matter what you do, you can't drop under the threshold for these tiers. Once players reach these ranks, some decide that they're finished with their rank grind and decide to either troll and grief their teammates' games, or play completely reckless in ranked to have fun without no regard for their own RP. This would be fine if it only affects themselves, but any solo queuing players who get stuck with them has to take that hit as well. In the higher tier, such as Master or Predator, a bad push will not only cost the attacking teams a life, but very often their victims as well, giving hard-stuck 10k players the power to ruin the ranked experience for everyone involved, including enemy teams. My suggestion on how demotion would be added would be inspired from the way that it has been done in many other games. If you are stuck at the entry of your tier, you have a certain amount of grace RP. If you drop below that grace RP, you will drop a tier. If you earn this negative RP back, you get back to the bottom of said tier. Some people argue that adding demotion would make players more inclined to rat, but players are already inclined to rat. And if you are forced to rat, odds are you don't deserve the rank you're in, and as such, everyone who constantly rat for RP will drop down to the rank that they belong in. The problem would sort itself out. This would also have the added benefit of increasing the ever-decreasing integrity of ranked Apex. If your lobbies are accurate to the ranks instead of boosted players acting as walking loot boxes or kill points, the games become a lot more competitive and ultimately enjoyable in every tier. The next change I'd make would be reverting the rank scoring system to how it used to be when it launched back in Season 2 of Apex. Nowadays, you have this annoying, complex multiplier system where you're chasing multipliers until you have the right amount of kill points to then play passively and farm your placement points in the endgame. To make matters worse and even more complicated, now different rank players are worth different amounts of KP, adding even more multipliers to the equation. Math is hard. We don't like math. Thinking makes me angry. But a system like this has to be intentionally convoluted to make it difficult to really understand what's going on as a casual player, which I think is a bad thing. In Season 2, things were simple. As far as placement goes, placing top 10 was worth 2 RP, top 5, 4 RP, top 3, 7 RP, and a win would bank 12 RP. In addition to that, you get 1 RP per kill, up to a cap of 5 RP. Notice how I said RP and not KP. Things were really simple back then. And it doesn't have to be more advanced than that. I don't see a single benefit of the current system. If anything, it promotes a weird playstyle where teams play super aggressive to secure KP early in the game, and then all they do is just camp and play Omega passive to secure placement points in the late game. This leads to 10 squads being alive in Circle 1, even in Predator ranked. This is as far from a competitive experience as it can be. The old rank system was close to the system we see in competitive Apex tournaments, and the matches played out just like that. Most competitive shooters ideally want to make sure that ranked is as close to the tournament experience as possible for many reasons, but this is where Apex falls short. Next up on the list, and something that would kind of tie in with changing the RP system to the way it was in favor of turning it closer to the tournaments, is removing the kill cap. Yes, this is going to be a bit more controversial, but I promise we'd keep ramping that up. I personally have a hard time seeing the benefits of a kill cap in ranked Apex. I believe that if you truly are that much better than your peers in a lobby and you drop a 20-bomb game, you should be rewarded accordingly. There are no kill caps in competitive Apex, and not only does this reward the better teams or players, but it also makes chasing kills a viable, high-risk, high-reward playstyle. Just because chasing kills is viable shouldn't mean that everyone gets ultra aggressive like in the previous system. Most players understand that they'll get the most points of the game if they get high kills but still get a good placement. After all, the safest way to get a high kill game is to play position and racking in kills on teams rotating in or that are exposed in the open. Uncapping kill points along with the previous point would make both playstyles viable, and it would play off of each other to give us a deeper meta in ranked Apex. Some people have said that uncapping kill points will make it easier for cheaters to climb, and honestly, that's fine. If a cheater is climbing the leaderboards that fast, they'll be a lot easier to catch. And if someone's doing a solo to master grind or just flat out smurfing, they won't be in those ranks for as long if they receive more RP from farming kills. Also, the anti-cheat should be doing its job. I don't think that's a valid... Yeah. on the subject of kill points, these should all be shared amongst the team. In the current system, you'll get kill points if you get a successful assist, meaning if you deal damage to a player within 5 seconds of your teammate downing them, you'll get an assist point that works the exact same as a kill point. But this system has a lot of flaws. For example, you can one-clip an enemy and down him, and while you are resetting, the enemy team revives them. Your teammate swoops in and downs them again, your teammate gets a kill, but you don't get anything. Measuring assists through damage is just way too one-dimensional. You can actually contribute to a kill without ever doing damage. You can do so by distracting the enemy, providing pressure, or setting up your team for a successful fight. In our current rank system, the supported players such as the Gibraltar, for this meta, is very often forced to take bad peaks and fights just to secure KP of their own, instead of playing their own role and making sure that the whole team benefits. Once again, lowering the integrity of ranked. This next thing is something that must have been requested frequently for the last few years. People have been asking for this ever since Rank came out, and I would imagine getting this made would take an intern about 2.5 coffees. I'm of course talking about official ranked leaderboards. Show us all the predators, all the way from the number 1 spot all the way down to number 750. This would make grinding ranked more rewarding as it gives more clout and it gives people something to grind for. Another thing that would be rewarding for ranked would be, well, proper ranked rewards. Award players for putting the time down and being high ranked. Maybe take a page out of League's book and send out cool jackets or merch to players who finish in the top 750, 500, 150, and of course to the player who takes the number 1 spot respectively. In-game items would do just as fine, but imagine the goodwill you would get from sending real-life stuff. I understand that unlike the rest of the changes, this would actually require more funding to pull off, so it would probably not happen even if I did have the keys to respawn. But it is something I'd love to see implemented because right now, playing ranked is just a waste of time. For the reasons I listed before, plus the fact that there just aren't any tangible rewards. The only way to make this work would be to add a very controversial feature to the rank system, and that's ranked decay. You shouldn't be able to get to a certain ranked and then not touching ranked for the entire duration of the season to reap those rewards. Especially at the higher levels of ranked, assuming there would be rewards for holding those ranks. Decay forces players to play ranked even if they don't want to, which is a great deterrent from people buying boosts to rank up their accounts, as they have to continue playing on that account to maintain it. This would also have the added bonus of forcing players to play ranked more often, artificially raising the player count and thus making all of my suggested changes look even more successful than they may have been otherwise. It does, however, punish casual players, and I totally sell for rank decay about a certain rank, let's say Diamond. And the biggest change that I would make, which I bet wouldn't be possibly received by most of your favorite rank grinders, would be completely abolishing free stacks in ranked. Free stacking completely destroys the rank system as we know it, since all the good players group up together, leaving the worst players stuck solo. Grouping up immediately raises your chances of winning a game by a significant amount, just from having teammates that you have previous synergy with. You are probably actively communicating through another media such as Discord, by the way, make sure to join mine, discord.tg/OtTR, and you will have a clear goal and composition before even loading into the game. A pre-made free stack will always beat a team of individually equally skilled players that are all solo, and is such inherently uncompetitive. Ranked, even in Masters, is just pub stomping with full stacks, where your favorite streamers are triple stacking and looking for diamond trail players to farm for kill points. The number 1 Predator in the previous season finished at about 175,000 RP. That wouldn't be able to happen if the games were fair. Forcing people to play solo would give everyone an equal chance to get a high rank, and it would make it a lot more interesting, competitive, and rewarding. I don't think rewarding anyone grinding ranked should be a thing if you can just pre-made stack and farm it like a kill race. Many other games have figured this out in the past and either limit you from stacking in ranked, competitive modes, or they simply don't let you stack at all. Examples would be Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, and League of Legends, and they figured this out years ago. Ultimately, these are all the things that I'd change if I got the keys to respawn for a day, and I think they would make a great difference in how rank plays out, but most importantly, the perception of ranked and rank grinders currently have among the casuals. If anyone from Respawn happens to be watching this, you can pick and choose any of these changes and they would improve rank, but every single suggestion would do a hell of a lot better if they were implemented along the rest. And as we have seen from the teaser, odds are they're going to be doing a few of these things, so I'm super excited to see what happens in the next season of Apex. I have a lot more thoughts on free stacks though, and if you are curious to hear more about those, you should check out the video on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.